Erin, it is Jay here at Rorick Mazda. So you're gonna have to promise not to laugh at me because I can assure you I'm never gonna win any filming award or anything for being on camera. But I thought that this might be the most helpful because surprisingly, I just made a very similar video for a customer where they thought that the CX-50 was somewhat of the replacement for the CX-5. And I can understand how it gets complicated because Mazda has shifted to that kind of number 0 nomenclature where the CX-3 became the CX-30, the CX-9 became the CX-90. So naturally, everyone thinks the CX-5 became the 50, and they actually are two different vehicles. To kind of show that, this is a CX-5, this is a 50. Now, you might not see it from the video, but the CX-5 sits up almost a whopping 4 inches taller. So that's where you kind of get that SUV feel that you're probably used to in your Tucson that I had mentioned. Now, the CX-50 is longer. So one of the reasons that the CX-50 exists, it's more of like an off-road kind of active lifestyle. It's lower to the ground, so it's easier to load and unload sort of equipment and gear if you do a lot of hauling. And they did take the CX-5 platform and stretch it out 6 inches. So if you really need the max space, like let's say your Tucson right now maybe is too small for your needs, we would absolutely want to consider a CX-50 because a CX-5 is the same size as your Tucson. But just to kind of go over a few things, personally, though I love the CX-50, I still think the CX-5 is a better option in terms of value to features. But the two trims that you'd mainly want to pay attention to are going to be the Select model in the CX-5 and the Preferred model in the 50. And I'm going to run over both of those on video so that way you can kind of see. Now, up first is the CX-50. This is a little bit more expensive. As I mentioned, this will run about $1,500 more expensive over the CX-5. And what's interesting is it does have a few less features, as crazy as that sounds. So you are paying a little bit more on the 50 space. Now, one thing off the bat, I always point out, you'll see that little block right there on the 50, and in the 5, you'll notice that the emblem is flat. And up on both vehicles, you have a camera. And the reason being is all safety features are standard on our vehicles. That's going to be everything from all of your collision avoidance, pedestrian and cyclist sensing, adaptive cruise that will guide you back in the lane if you're drifting, full LED lights, which are like those piercing blue lights that people will occasionally flash you thinking you're an asshole with the high beams on. But you know what? The people sitting behind them, it's great for nighttime driving. All of your adaptive cruise with stop and go, meaning that the cars have the ability to drive in stop and go traffic automatically. Blind spot system, which is my favorite, which will light up indicators in each side mirror. And what's neat with that particular feature is if you're part of the 2% of Pittsburgh that uses a turn signal, it will beep back at you to let you know you can't make that lane change. All-wheel drive will be standard in every vehicle, as will be things like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, even remote start is standard in all of our vehicles. Now, the CX-50 will look a little bit more aggressive because it's going to have side rails on the roof, all black accents like the black wheels and the black grille bar and the black mirrors, regardless of exterior color choice. Now, both vehicles will have the advance key, so I just walk up, grab the handle, it will lock or unlock because I have the key with me. And this interior will look the same but differentiate slightly. You'll notice the 50 kind of has like a half digital gauge cluster that's blinking right there. You'll see up there you have a little bit larger of a screen because, again, this vehicle is about 2 inches also wider than the CX-5. So naturally the screen is about 2 inches wider as well. Here's a difference is the seating in this particular vehicle is predominantly cloth. You have a little bit of leather on the outside, but the whole middle portion of all the seats is cloth. So realistically, I say that this is cloth interior. On both cars, you'll have the dual zone climate system, so you can set 2 different temperatures, and you'll see that important feature there, heated seats in both vehicles. Now, Mazda's system is not touch. They really try to mimic their design after like BMW and Audi. So everything is going to be controlled on that joystick-like system behind the gear shifter for all the features and functions. So again, CX50. So now we're gonna go to a CX5, and I really hope that one is unlocked because I don't have my key box with me. So let's see if perhaps I lucked out and one is locked, unfortunately, but I'll do what I can here just to continue to help. So this is going to be your CX5. Now, I will say the CX5 from an exterior standpoint, though it doesn't have all of those black accents that you see on the 50, like black wheels and black grille, they look a little bit more sophisticated because it doesn't have any of the traditional cladding that you find on SUVs. You'll notice that this blue one has blue all around it, much like this particular white one has white all around it. So it's going to be completely colored. You'll have a 17-inch silver wheel. Again, same safety features and design. And even the interior-wise, it might be a little difficult to see. You'll notice it's almost identical to the CX50. Large screen up on top of the dash. You'll notice that you have the centralized joystick. You'll still have that dual climate system and the heated seats there. Now, a difference is this has leather interior. It is full leather, and it is a power driver seat. Those are going to be two differences on that Preferred, which is a manual seat and it's predominantly cloth. So the CX5, you actually pick up full leather and a power seat with those heated seats and such. And again, it's about $1,500 less. So that's kind of the main difference between the two. And I'm not sure if this video helped, but I just figured since everyone is kind of unfamiliar with all the weird nomenclature that Mazda's been doing, it might help you kind of with some of your research differentiate these two models and sort of narrowing down what might suit your needs best. But I hope this helps. I really appreciate the opportunity, Erin, and I look forward to hearing back. Thank you so much.